Welcome to Braunhaven. We're going to be picking up where we left off last week. No Cameron this week. She was unable to play today. Not sure what's going on. She just wasn't able to make it. So these guys have decided they want to play through anyways, which means that the party will be without their primary two healers, Alora the Witch and Mavis the Cleric, and we will see how that goes. They're at the Abbey of the Order of the Martyr, so it is plausible, and they came up with the idea that maybe they will hire a cleric hireling to travel along with them. Um, but where we left off, they did spend time at the Abbey, and they were present for uh, the feast. I wrote this and I don't remember what the feast was. I will look. Not the Feast of Saint. The Feast of Saint Soman. And so Soman the Archer is a saint that the Order of the Martyr venerates. And so um, it's funny that the Order of the Martyr started out as kind of a joke. And now is like a full blown thing in Braunhaven. But anyways, so they have spent the night feasting and are ready to continue on. Their goal is to make their way through the city of Zlatoheim at the tippy top of the Skelos Mountains, and then down the other side into the nation of Stagina, heading for the capital city of Olafsvalar. And they are trying to find the location of a weapon called Donnerschlag, the hammer of Janus that was wielded by an archangel that was sent down to in a attack called the Hammer Strike of the Gods, and this happened during the War of the Heavens, where the Council of 12 Elder Gods decided they weren't going to put up with a trio of archdevils that were basically ruling the Prime Plane or the known world. And so they are seeking this weapon. They were told by the Archmage Tacidantilus that this weapon would assist. There are three artifacts. They have the first one, that Borman is wearing, the Armor of the Raven. They are now seeking Donnerschlag, and the third is the Sword of Saint Gloust. And so that is what they are. That's their goal. Before we get started, we would like to bring attention to the fact that we do have a merch store via Zazzle. We've got hoodies. They're black hoodies with the charcoal sketch of the characters from today's game. Doesn't have one of Peppermint yet, but I don't know, that might be coming. We've got T-shirts and buttons, and there's drinkware from the Whiskey Rocks class and a beer stein. There's poster maps. There is a fleece blanket. There's a bunch of stuff on there. And 100% of the proceeds from that store goes directly back into our channel. It helps us cover things like Incarnate Pro that I use to make this map, for instance. We have, Roll20 Pro, even the software we use to make these videos. There's a subscription that we have to pay yearly. And so all of that stuff adds up at the end of the month. And if you want to help us offset that so that we can keep doing what we're doing, go get yourself a hoodie, and we appreciate everything that you do for us. Okay, so you guys, you want to hire. Well, so this was so Wes's idea was to hire a cleric.
Quote higher.
Yeah, well, I mean, How much are you offering?
A chance to study under our cleric.
Mavis.
Mavis will be in the background, unofficially tutoring them while they're on the mission with us. So Mavis won't be doing anything, but Mavis will just be telling them what to do, and they'll be doing it. They'll be studying under her.
I can also offer a +1 shield and a +1 mace.
Ooh, you
that they
want
can
awful
keep.
weapons.
Well, I mean, these are weapons that we don't use, and they're just in the bag of shit I've got to deal with.
Okay.
I might be willing to part with a weapon.
Are you offering that for them to use, or are you giving that away?
Upon their survival of this time, they could keep it.
Okay. I would count that as pretty lavish.
I got a +2 Warhammer.
That +2 Warhammer probably looks nicer than my +1 mace.
Yes, it does. Yeah, I would count that as lavish.
When he needed bludgeoning stuff, but being a knight now, he no longer feels any need to keep it.
That's true. An 8. Yeah. Okay, so they have accepted. I will.
So should I delete this Warhammer from my inventory then?
Yeah, in just a second.
And then I'm going to delete the shield.
Okay.
Hell yeah. Gives me a line to put something else on. See?
Right.
Yeah.
Here's a good one. Let's see here.
And I mean, if Mavis is rolling in the background, can we still touch the Holy Rod of Healing once a day?
Yeah, I would say we can do that.
Okay. See, I'm feeling so much better. I'm feeling with both hands now. Part of the thing about growing up in a sarcastic environment is I've got a quick fucked up saying for almost any general question. Like people will say, "How does that grab you?" And I'll say, "Like a hairy hand in the dark." And well, I mean that's a big grab.
So that's a +1 shield, you said?
Yes. Is it a human?
It is.
I can loan them +2 plate mail to wear, but I want that back. That's just to give them a good AC so they survive. But +2 plate mail, that's going to go to the next NPC we need to pick up, guy.
Okay.
We're going to some fucked up spots. And
okay, so you're giving him +1 plate mail?
+2 plate mail.
Okay.
But
I need to redo this.
Okay, I'm sorry.
No, you're fine.
But well, so are you. But that's just a that's you like that, huh? That's just the plate mail is just a loaner.
Okay.
Upon their completion, they will, I will gladly put, their main armor in a bag, and they can have it back, and we guarantee them safe passage return here to the Abbey through our mirror of wondrous climate and teleportation.
So +2 plate mail. 1/8.
That lets them be,
And that's a +2 shield?
+1 shield.
Okay.
Mm-mm.
Or 019, right?
Must enjoy long walks, cold weather. You know, the the jobs will be tough, but the hours will be long.
Okay. And then
You're generating name and everything.
not yet.
Oh,
And then what? That's a +2 Warhammer. You said. Is that right?
that was Brian's bit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, +2 Warhammer.
Yeah. We can't have just some unequipped scrub walking in our fucking midst. You know, I mean, we have a
Does
reputation.
the Order of the Martyr allow them to drink?
Yes.
I will promise them endless alcohol. I have my decanter that I have not been drinking from nearly as much.
You need to stay on top of your quota, man, or you know, sobriety might reach in and get you.
How dare you say such a thing?
Oh, it's just a friendly warning. It's not really a, you know,
How dare you hint that
prediction.
sobriety could come from my character?
Oh, if you're not drinking properly, technically that'd be a lack of character.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah.
No, don't worry. I still drink in the background. The character just. Ooh, does the Abbey have a nice holy wine I could learn how to make?
Did you generate a name for him?
Oh no, I did it. I simply asked the question.
I
But
can do it.
here we go. Okay, you did it, and we will find out what our
Abbey
new
who lives at
friend's
the
name is.
Abbey? Not Abbey who lives at the Abbey? Okay, fine.
Abbey Normal.
Does
Oh, these are fucked up names.
the Abbey have a potion maker?
They do not.
Ah, I've literally had this thing to make this fire potion for the longest time, and I have like either I forget when we're somewhere who can.
We have a potion maker
Ooh,
at Castle Braun.
you? Did we hire one?
Yeah. Yes, we've purchased shit from him.
Shit, I was the one that suggested the damn thing.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, now I can finally get my damn fire breath potion made.
All right. So
I would think we spent a decent amount of coin getting the alchemy dude in Castle Braun.
that is true.
Ooh, question of technicalities, Chris.
Mhm.
If my warhorse has the boots of the Zephyr that allow me to walk on water, or if like float just above water, does my horse float just above snow?
No.
Dare you?
That doesn't line up with the magic science, my friend. Science of magic does not make sense. It has no logic.
That's right.
You're not
The
allowed to
Zephyr is
apply
a-
those principles to magic.
There are
saying is
some
the
physics
of
involved with
liquids.
magic. That's just not one of them.
Of
All
liquids.
right.
I can float above liquids, is what you're saying. So if I was to come
Right.
across acid, could I like walk on the acid?
I don't. I would say no. It has to be water.
Snow is water.
Yes, but
You have
there's no sinking involved.
What
So
about?
here
Say
is
that
the
until you go into some serious.
here is the
Oh
cleric.
hell yeah!
I
Ignore
don't know
me.
why it
Just
came
ignore
out like that. It should say 119, but that works. Vidan Cav is this level 4 cleric
With 8 hit points.
with 8 hit points.
Well, that generator sucks.
Yeah, and I clicked
He's
it
got-
like 4 times and it still was just coming up with shit. But he will serve as a healer for you for now.
A dexterity of 5?
Yeah. Well, you know,
What the shit?
he's a nerd, man. He's spent his life in
Yeah.
the Abbey. He hasn't been
Well,
out learning
his
sports.
his job is to use all his spell slots for cure light wounds. And-
Right? Yeah.
and
You know, and
and
that's
that is that.
yeah. Let me see. So he's a level 4 cleric, which means cleric level 4. He should have. He only has 3 spell slots. He's got 2 first level and 1 second level.
Okay.
So,
In the back. Keep him safe.
but
Yeah.
but
With his 8 hit points. I don't even know how that's possible. Because he's got a con of 7, so he's taking a -1.
yep. 1.
Shit.
Oh yeah, he does have 3 spell slots. Yeah, he can replace that light spell with a second cure light wounds. I don't necessarily know why he would want.
Resist fire.
I mean, it's not a terrible spell to have, but
He lives in the snow.
yeah. Well, I mean, they're dragons, and don't forget the fire giants.
Okay, yeah, there you go. Makes sense then.
Cleric spell list.
Yeah.
What's a better spell?
Cure moderate wounds.
No, he doesn't get that until he can cast 4th level spells. So he gets 2
wow.
first and 1 second level spell. I mean, there's bless. Bless might be a better spell.
Yeah. Sounds great. He is our heal bot.
You can have 2 cure light wounds and a bless.
Yeah. And his instructions are to hang out in the back of the party and only apply heals in combat if somebody calls out. And you know, he really doesn't even need to be swinging that warhammer unless somebody approaches the back.
Gets right up on his ass. Yeah.
Yeah, we're wanting Vidan to make the day and
Okay.
heal us up.
Right,
We don't want him to die until the end of the day, and that's only so we can get our shit back.
You have to live at least until the end of the day so we can get our shit back. On here.
Well, with that dexterity, there's a good chance for Dad just slips and falls on some black ice on the way back. Who knows?
Yeah. But I mean, we armored him up, you know.
Yeah, I mean, 19 is not 19 is not bad.
No, it's not. If he didn't have such a shit dex, he'd fucking be rolling nice.
Right?
But it is what it is. He hangs out in the fucking. If you're in the Abbey of the Order of the Martyr, are you really, hardcore?
No.
No,
He's
and
the
the
martyr.
reason.
Well, I mean, they're
Yeah.
clerics. I mean, technically speaking, clerics are the militant arm of any church. They are not just preachers, or pastors at a church. A cleric is armed for combat. They are the mace wielding arm of any church that they are a part of.
Oh,
Well,
the
all
man
right.
believes in wielding the mace. He just doesn't believe in wielding it quickly. He's a bit
Yeah.
pudgy and moves slowly.
Yeah. with a bad con. Hell yeah, he's fat. That's his thing. He's been sitting around, and the paladins all rode out, to go gather the followers for the
Dan's
big
been waiting
push.
for this
Right.
chance to get out there and do
Yeah,
some clericy goodness, but sitting at the Abbey all day got him a little pudgy.
yep, a little out of shape. That's why he got
bad legs.
assigned us. Yeah, it's like, man, you haven't done anything worth a fuck for a long time, so you need to go with Mavis's crew until she's ready to return.
That's the
And
backstory. Let's get to it.
yeah, and
We created
Alora
a whole
and
backstory for this character who's gonna die.
yeah,
Awful lot of backstory for a character that's only got 8 hit points.
well, that's the thing. Can we protect this motherfucker? Can we? Yeah, that's the goal. Is the dumbass cleric lives the day. That sounds fun.
Gentry, being a knight, will take it upon his honor to try and keep him alive.
Well, it would be in your interest to keep him alive, considering that he's the one that's going to be patching up your wounds.
All right,
I'm just creating a token for this show.
it's fine. I'm gonna go ahead and just to give you a heads up, Malachi is gonna have a death ward spell.
Okay.
He's gonna put one of those a day.
Not a bad idea.
3rd level necromancy. If he's 60 feet away, I've got his ass.
So this will be what your cleric's token looks like.
Yeah. Come on, boy.
Wait, what does it look like?
Oh, sorry.
He definitely looks like someone that we're gonna call boy or Yins.
Yins.
Yeah.
There he is.
Yins be fucking up. Yeah.
Oh, down here. Okay. Oh. Not quite as pudgy as I thought he'd be.
No, I mean,
Well, the armor hides it well.
Oh,
A chainmail. What are those things that?
He's just out of shape.
What are those things like corsets? Isn't that what they like
Mm.
wrap around you and pull you tight? He has a chainmail one.
a chainmail corset. Oh, that sounds
Yeah, that they
That's
pull
not-
tight so so the fat rolls don't seep out.
Now that's
and
something you'd see on OnlyFans.
I'm just saying, man. He's just out of shape, having not had a chance to get out there in the field.
Yeah, and we're-
you could be a fit person, but if you stop being fit for a while, it don't take much.
that's right. And with the change of leadership, he really needs to earn some attaboys. So he'll get a good post in the changing of the guard, so
That
to
is
speak.
that is true.
Oh yeah, we've got tons of selling points to come die with us, my friend.
All right, so first day of travel, you can move 2 hexes.
We're just following the trail. We're gonna follow the trail all the way up, ride or die. Is that what we're doing?
Correct. So, I mean, that was my assumption. If you're following the road, you can move 2 hexes. If you go off the road, because it is late winter, early springish, you'd only be able to move 1 hex. I mean, that is the reason for roads, is to facilitate travel. So,
I guess we don't have to worry about getting fucking lost on the road. So that would be a bonus, but
I'm just... Wow, you have had no encounters in 2 days.
Good luck.
But
this is we're friends at the people of the Owlbear.
yes. But
This is cool because we get to review the places that we've been and affected. and we actually get to kind of see the ramifications of our actions.
Actually,
Notice we're not going to the Imperial Port today.
right?
He will
Yeah.
never, ever go back to the Imperial. That's never gonna-
Yes, that may not be a good idea.
Or maybe later, way later, just it's a training
Man,
ground for our troops. For people that want to join us in the training ground, go there, kill something, come back.
man, I keep Control Undead ready. I mean, I'm just saying because we always end up in crypts and shit.
Right.
I'm gonna steadily send undead there to the Imperial Port just as we get them. Vampire, we can't kill him, no problem. Control Undead, he fails to save. We tell him to walk through the portal and feed, amongst anybody in the town.
10 years later, it's actually just a haven for the undead. They've created a whole civilization, and it's actually
Yeah,
nice. It's considered a beacon of hope for the undead in the world.
Right.
yeah. He'll be like, "Damn, man, I woke up a zombie, and now what do I need to do? I need to go to the Imperial Port because I will find solace there, and they will teach me how to retain my mentalities, and I will wear red robes and cast powerful magics."
See, we have created a whole. Keep letting us
Yeah.
talk. We're gonna have by the end of this conversation, we will have like 3 new lore for you.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. So I have added Vidan to the back of your party. So as you guys are traveling up the Eastern Tradeway into the mountains, you do come to the area where this is where you remember there was the clan of Neanderthals,
Mhm.
known as the clan of the Owlbear. Everybody roll. Well, I need to look at Rangers.
Every character, is that what we're rolling?
Yeah, hold on.
Because you forgot Mira.
Oh, that's right, Mira.
That's why I was like, is it character? I was gonna ask, is it character or just like
Last time we saw Mira.
Oh, Mira is basically a character. I mean,
Right, but we haven't added her as a character. What I need to do is I need to find a map where she's at so I can just copy her.
wherever we were last time that had that stuff happening.
Yeah.
way to be descriptive and specific. Good
That's what I do.
job.
That's what I do.
You said when it was back in that time where we had stuff happening.
Right.
Hey,
In that
look,
place where I did that thing that time.
Yeah,
this is why I don't
man.
play bards, okay? Look, I don't have all that the words and stuff. No.
Oh, yeah. I
There,
hear you,
there's
man.
Mira.
You're cool with me, man.
So Ranger, let's see.
And on these days, did Jackson get a chance to roll for his bird?
We're gonna give
Is there
him.
an owl?
We will give him the opportunity for that today. In fact, well,
You-
first of all,
you-
Jackson, go ahead and make a tracking check.
Track
track
the
well.
bird. Ooh, damn, Jackson.
No shit, that's pretty good.
I mean,
So,
there's all the snow. It's easy.
yeah. So Jackson, you're being the ranger. You're kind of leading the party through up the road through the mountains. And I mean, first of all, you don't get lost. Second, and the road. So this particular map is assuming winter, snowy mix. I would think that there's probably considerably less snow on the road currently than what this map actually shows, because a lot of it is there's a mix of rain and snow, and then some days there might be freezing rain or what have you. So this road would be a lot less powder, but you detect that there were somebody has come through here. group of probably about 5 individuals. No, it's probably about 10 individuals have come through here. Heavy boots, probably medium-sized humanoid creatures. I mean, it looks like they're wearing boots, so probably not so much large like orcs, but more they look more human. Have moved through here, and as you move into
I
this,
relate this.
I'm sorry.
I relay this information.
Okay.
As a friend of the owlbear tribe, we are honor bound to check on them as we pass their lair, and if anybody's done them harm, we are honor bound to dispatch them from the living.
And Jackson.
They will one day grow to become insurance salesmen.
Hooray!
And have a deep disdain of geckos.
Probably.
Well, it's so easy a caveman can do it, Line. They played the shit out of that.
They really did.
Looking at your so Jackson, roll a d6.
D6. Shit. Stop. Ah! Okay. I was having mouse issues for a second there.
And roll a d6 again because it's been 2 days. Oh, on either day. Okay. So no, you haven't detected a bird yet. And part of this, you are a little concerned because you're not seeing a whole lot of wildlife. It's like the birds and the wildlife has more or less has either are in hiding or avoiding the area.
How is Mira acting? Is Mira like on edge in this area? Does she seem more bothered?
Have Mira roll it.
Because being wild herself, perhaps, is something she's picking up on. Roll, damn you!
Yes, Mira is acting like like a like a scared cat. Her hackles are up, and she is, you know, every noise she's stopping and turning and looking at it, and then moving on. She's keeping low to the ground.
Ooh.
Malachi will cast invisibility on Vidan.
Okay. Good.
Yep.
Now when you're injured, you won't know who to go to because he's invisible.
He should come to us.
That fucking cleric. He's not around when you need him.
Yeah. Yeah. He knows to go when a motherfucker calls out.
You
So
guys,
if
you guys. Well,
and Borman will always try to hang out in shadows, but he's not going to be invisible.
okay.
So he's going to sneak along as we move along, but he's saving that.
So this is a new feature that went unreported with the new jump gate that came out for Roll20. You can drag and select all of the characters, and then right click and select Add Turn, and it just goes and throws them all in there. Like that's so fucking great.
Oh hell! Yeah. And you want
Yeah, everybody go ahead and roll
initiatives.
initiative. That way I know which direction we're going here.
All right.
Shit.
Oh,
What's wrong, buddy?
1, 1, and a 5.
well, you know.
Man,
They can't all be
You know,
punished.
nothing but the dog chased the cat. You know.
No, I mean, like, it's cool. Mira's the one that's on edge, so she's really aware. Jackson's been tracking, so he's not moving quickly, and Dentry's concerned about defending this weak cleric.
And
Uh,
you can roll a d6 for Vidan. I'm going
he'll
to.
take a -1, so that's a 2.
Yeah, I gave control to all players, so whoever wants to put in
Uh,
his.
there he is. He's in.
Okay.
Is the 5 only a -1? That's good.
I was just looking at that. Got him.
Oh, he might be -2.
He is -2.
Okay, well then he has a 1. Yeah.
Why did I
We
open
ought
my
to.
mouth?
No,
Wow.
it's hey, you're not a true rules lawyer if you don't fucking stay the negative on the side. The only time it's bad form is if you use your rules lawyering to fucking stick your dick in a fellow player's mouth. If they're trying to do something and the DM is fucking up and letting them get a little extra something, and you're the one that speaks up, then really, I hope you eat the taint of pigs for a long time.
Don't get in the way of the fun. Got it.
Yeah, don't shit on other people's fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't yuck my yum.
Ugh.
Yes. Don't yuck my yum is right.
Perfect. Okay. So, you guys can move your exploration movement, right?
Are we just trying to get up this path, or do we have another reason to go anywhere else? Are we trying to get to the cave?
Well, I think Borman wanted to check in on the clan, so their cave is up here.
Okay.
And so that's where Borman is gonna head.
We're doing exploration movement?
Yep.
Okay, well, I'm
So
there.
Borman gets there too because he has joined the 30, 60, 90 club. Instead of the 20, 40, 60, and he's a little slower as he mumbles.
The other thing,
Oh,
Jackson, the heavy footprints that you tracked seem to be moving up the mountain along the road.
Okay.
Jackson can make another tracking check in this area.
Okay.
He's got to move Dentry too. Yeah.
Gentry's on his horse, so he's got movement now.
That's true. Yeah, Dentry would be riding his horse. Actually, all of you can ride your horse.
Oh no, not Borman right now. He left that shit back there with the wagon.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure I saw everything that there was to see in the snow.
Yes. Up here around especially around the cave, you find a bunch of bigger prints in the snow. Giant sized. Jackson estimates they're probably about 12 feet tall. They're not barefoot, but it doesn't look like they're wearing boots necessarily. More like heavy burlap bags that have been tied around their feet with like a rope around their ankle kind of thing. Very primitive, but they are giant sized, and you find more of these prints the closer you get to the cave. And outside of the cave's entrance, everybody can see that there are. The snow is packed down from all of these giant sized feet tramping down, and you find two bodies of dead Neanderthals. One of them is missing a leg. The other one is missing an arm and part of their chest.
Oh, shit.
Aside from that, they are fairly well snowed over and frozen. I mean, not necessarily frozen, but well kept.
Jackson
Borman,
will inspect the bodies to see if it was. Or actually, no. Let the Malachi do it. He can tell if it was killed by something. He likes death.
Well, I mean,
Yeah,
obviously
I'll
it was
go
killed
take
by so the
Yeah.
leg's been torn off.
Yeah, it was torn
Malachi,
off, cut off, bitten off.
what do you want? An intelligence?
Yeah, go ahead and roll an intelligence check.
I rolled below my intelligence,
So
which is
So
not
Malachi,
in my
looking
memory.
at this, I mean, obviously it's been killed by something, um, and I mean the logical conclusion is something to do with these large footprints. But the arm and part of the chest and the leg have not been separated from the corpses via any kind of mm,
Were they pulled apart?
yeah, partially cut with a very crude implement, and then ripped off the rest of the way. Like where the leg is ripped off, part of the thigh bone has been cracked and left attached. The uh, with the arm and part of the chest, you see that several of the ribs have been broken and cracked off. And you see that there is some blood splatter around the entrance of the cave leading in.
Gonna listen to
Okay.
your noise, which I sucked at.
You hear nothing. The wind is howling, kind of blowing, and you're not able to hear anything through the whistling through the trees and over this
Yeah.
cave entrance.
And I'm gonna
I mean,
go
I guess Jackson
invisible.
can try and listen.
Borman's noping out. He's like, I'm putting on that ring.
Yeah.
Fuck these guys. Jackson, you do hear some mumbling coming from deep, kind of echoing, coming from deep inside the cave. What languages does Jackson speak?
Jackson doesn't speak a lot. Leiter, Handeln, and Gernvold.
Yeah, so you either can't understand what it could be that the echoing is making it difficult for you to hear. It sounds fairly muffled, or it's possible that you are not able to understand what they're saying at all. It's hard for you to tell,
Okay.
but it
I'll
sounds
relay that I hear voices.
like there are. Sounds like there are the voices of two separate people.
There's two voices down there, but I have absolutely no idea what they're saying. Sounds like gibberish to me. I don't know, but there's definitely two of them.
Well, I'm gonna maybe we should go do a little sneak and see what we see. Scout it out.
A little sneaky sneak.
Yeah.
You are the
I mean-
sneaky of the sneakies.
Right.
Unless
Well,
you
I didn't know if
sneak-
you wanted to go sneak along with me, you know?
I mean, I can be invisible, but I make noise.
Oh, okay. Well, I will go take a peek then.
Like, I want to go with you, but I know that in a cave, armor echoes.
Yeah. I'm gonna creep on in. What I'm gonna do. And
So he creeps. Yeah. Sorry.
oh no, it's okay. You're cool to you know,
Random
express
song.
yourself however you like, you know?
Yes, yourself. See what you did? See what you did?
All right, so Borman, you are sneaking in.
Yep.
It looks like. On Borman, what are you having Vidan do?
I mean, he should be standing in the back, invisible, waiting to be needed.
Okay, so you're leaving him. You're not having him go into the cave, or you?
Right now, Borman's just going into the cave because he has the thigh high magic boots of being slick, and the raven armor, and he's also got the invisible ring, and he's going in to look what's what. And as he goes in, he's going to be looking for traps.
So, yeah, there's no traps, but you kind of follow this blood trail in, and sitting around a what the campfire that the Neanderthals had, you can see that the first thing that you notice in the flickering firelight is that there are all of the what you would expect of the Neanderthals in here are dead. You
Okay.
also see that there are two hill giants sitting around the fire.
Vengeance. Vengeance.
Roll,
Yeah.
Attention.
Borman, make a wisdom ability check.
Okay. No.
Okay.
No, I am not wise today, my friend.
And Borman, go ahead and roll a d6. You are surprised by this. You kind of go, two hill
Yeah.
giants. We haven't fucked with these guys yet. What are you, Jackson? What are you doing?
Jackson is listening at the entrance. Let me move him over there. He's listening at the entrance in case anything goes wrong and ready to rush in to assist as needed, but not trying to go in unless there's a need.
Okay. Dentry, what are you doing?
Dentry is sitting on his horse, kind of like center of the party, being able to move whichever way he needs to go.
Okay.
Just kind of keeping watch.
Okay. Malachi, what are you doing?
I mean, Malachi's just kind of, you know, he's just gonna kind of hang out, maybe behind Dentry bravely, you know.
I'm gonna hide behind the half orc.
On his war horse.
Yeah, I'm gonna be like a little bit to the side so the horse don't kick me if it runs or nothing. But I'm just gonna kind of stay back. I don't necessarily need to be frontlining.
Okay.
That's the, you know, I can also help in healing in some wonderful ways. It's totally natural.
You squishy, stay near me. I protect.
Okay, so hill giant. So one of the hill giants looks. What languages does Borman speak?
Dun, dun, dun. He speaks the thieves can't and the
Okay.
common bulls. You know, that's really kind of it.
So you see these two giants are sitting around the campfire, and they are. One of them is taking a hunk of meat that you can't quite tell what this meat is, and it doesn't look like it's particularly well cooked over the fire, but he's biting it and pulling it off, with his teeth, just kind of ripping a chunk off and eating it. The other giant kind of looks up and he goes and sniffs the air, and he says something to the other giant in the giant language. I mean, even in the giant language, they come out sounding, I'm dumb, that kind of speech. And the other giant just kind of looks over towards the cave entrance, looks this direction, and just goes, and just keeps eating. What is Mira doing?
Mira is smelling at the cave entrance, kind of like trying to figure out, like, is this where that threat that I've noticed is coming from? Does she decide that this is where her threat is coming from?
I would. Yes, she would.
She is now like full cat, ready to like guard or attack, whatever. Like, I do not like this cave, and I am ready to kill if I need to.
Okay. So she's just staying where she's at, huh?
She's not going in unless Jackson tells her to. She's well trained. She
Okay.
knows not to just rush in.
Okay. Good.
She is definitely communicating to Jackson, like through their empathetic bond, that this is a very bad place to be.
Okay. What about Goodman?
Goodman's gonna kind of step up here. That's what he's doing.
Okay. Wait. Where did he go? Oh, I see him. Yes. Yep. Okay.
Oh wait, no, it's not Jackson's turn. I have Jackson be like, Dantria, I think we need you over here. But it's not his turn.
All right. All right, Borman. You see these two hill giants. What are you doing?
I am gonna step right over here and pull out the eye of the dragon eye Malachi.
Yep.
And I am going to show the hill giants.
Okay. Are you going to have Vidan move, or are you keeping him where he's at?
I mean, I don't necessarily know if I'm controlling him, whatever.
Anybody can control him.
Right.
He's
I
a
mean,
hireling.
I'm kind of thinking that he'll be like standing over here, kicking the root, you know.
Yeah, no, Vidan should not go anywhere where combat is unless told.
Yeah.
You and your
Yeah,
8
he's
hit points, stay back there.
Yeah. You're not healthy. Mhm. Yeah.
Jackson, what are you doing?
Jackson is signaling to Dentry, there's some shit to be going on. Get over here. And preparing himself to rush in at the same time. So like not gonna go in, but once we're ready, and kind of like tag team it in.
Okay.
Ooh, better yet.
Yeah.
I mean, this is like absolute pincer. We could get them to come out to us.
Potentially.
I think I'm gonna kind of like
do it.
Gonna be like, how someone has killed our friends. Oh no. Whatever should we do?
Okay. So Jackson calls out Dentry, what are you doing?
Dentry is gonna stand front and center at the entrance of this cave like the knight that he is, because cheap pincer attacks and surprise attacks are not his way. And he's gonna just dismount the horse, like right at the entrance, and just walk in the cave like, what foul beasts have done this to our friends? Because fucking honor and shit.
Okay. So Malachi can see through the dragon eye. What's Malachi doing?
Are these 5-foot squares?
Yes. I think. Yes. We'll say they are.
Right. All right. So yeah, just kind of right here, this point right here,
Okay.
that eye's got a 60-foot in the dark viewing, but so I mean, I'm thinking that's a really nice straight line through the mouth of the cave, down in there. He might have to kind of lean to the side a little bit, you know. But like right here, I'm gonna go ahead and I could see the spot, and so I'm gonna soul lightning.
Okay. It's funny because I just had to look at this yesterday.
Soul lightning, page 66 of a trees on maze and spellers.
So let's see here.
Yeah, what he said.
Yep. 20-foot radius. So have Malachi roll a wisdom ability check.
He hit that.
So Malachi would remember that this chamber back here was the lair of the clan's owlbear and its cub.
They killed the owl bear. They're just gonna rage. I don't even know if
I mean, yeah, I know
rage.
that takes out that whole area, the hill giants,
Yep.
man. But, dude, do I assume that they're dead?
And it would be hard for you to see very well back there. I mean, you could see this far because of the campfire, but your infravision
It's not infravision; it sees in the dark.
right,
As
and
crypt sight.
you wouldn't be able to because this campfire is going to screw that up.
Okay, that's totally feasible. Okay, well, I don't want to hit my friend that just walked in, so I guess I won't do soul lightning. I will. I mean, if they got a campfire and they're kind of lit up, I guess if I'll just move.
I guess instead I'll cast fireball.
I'm just gonna kind of move to here so I can see what's in there.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, you can see these two hill giants. So the hill giants, of course, react immediately to Jackson and Dentry stepping in, like his balls are clanking in his armor. This hill giant.
I got your back, Dentry.
This is perfect.
Oh, I know, because you get to repost, right?
Oh yes.
Yeah, you're gonna repost. It's like fucking hit that share button, you know?
So both these hill giants grab. They're basically sitting kind of on these rocks, and under their feet are their clubs, but they are actually busted tree trunks that they're using, and you can see that sitting, kind of leaning up next to a rock, is a giant-sized, really shitty-looking meat cleaver. But they grab their trunk, these tree trunks, and they're using them as clubs. They come over, and they are going to swing on Dentry. Both of them. And they are what you do here? First attack. A 19 probably misses Dentry.
It sure does, but it does mean punk.
A 25 hits.
Oh.
10. So he swings, and Dentry just ducks, and his vengeance sword swipes and cuts into the thigh of this giant, and just whoa, and lets out this stupid cry like he's never been hurt before. The other giant, 14. He swings, and his club comes down and strikes the ground next to Dentry, just as Dentry just kind of steps to the side, and you can make another vengeance attack.
Why? What did you do to our friends?
That is also a hit. You swing up and cut his arm.
13. Hell yeah.
What's Mira doing? I mean, the sounds of combat are unmistakable at this point.
Mira's going in. Where the hell is she? Oh, there she is. Mira's going in. And she's going like quick to kind of. I know we don't have flanking rules anyway, but Mira's going in to get behind.
Okay.
Just for the sake of not being all bunched up in the center.
Okay.
Does a 9 or a 21 hit?
Yes, a 21 hits.
Oh, wait. Okay, yeah. So that's 2d4 then. 3
Well,
damage.
That's 3 that he doesn't have that he did have before. So.
Exactly.
Mira comes in and kind of runs between his legs and slashes with her tentacles. Goodman, what are you doing?
Why, Goodman is going, oh, you piece of shit! The fuck? And he's gonna, continue to walk up here. So he goes 20 feet.
Clank, 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 clank.
Yeah. Oh hell yeah,
The 4 foot
walk
tall
right
Sherman
up.
tank.
He'll walk right up next to Dentry there. Piece of shit! You killed my friends and my friends. Now you're gonna fucking pay.
Goodman would Goodman, being from Zlatoheim in this region, Goodman, they had fairly good. Oh no, they had fairly good relations with the Neanderthals. Not like a good trade relation necessarily, but there was no animosity. Yeah. But he rolls a 1 and kind of swings and does one of those where he swings so hard he turns himself around, and the giant swings and probably misses with a 15.
Yep, sure as fuck does.
I mean, he's got a +7 to fucking hit, and I'm rolling like crap.
That's okay, because he rolled a 1.
Yes, so the giant, takes a swipe at him and misses. Borman, what are you doing?
Well, Borman is going to creep around here next to Mira, and let's see. He has 5 plus 4 is 9, plus 1 for the weapon specialization, and he's going to backstab that bastard. Does a 15 hit?
It does.
All right. So this is +2 times 2. So 14 points of damage.
Okay.
As I appear and be like, you motherfucker!
And you stab this giant in the back, and he lets out a bellow. He doesn't like that. But he makes his morale check. He's going to stay in the fight, mostly because there's really nowhere for him to go, right?
No.
So Borman backstabs him. What do you have Vidan do?
He's milling about back there in the back.
Okay.
Invisible.
Jackson's
rushing in and probably can't get to this one, so then he'll go for this one.
Yeah. Ooh.
Oh.
Fuck him.
Oh, I love that so much.
Fuck him.
That so much.
The Jackson runs in and does a leap and cuts the head off of one of the giants.
I needed a 19 or a 20, and I got the 20.
Yes. Yeah, those giants, like there's he slices, and the giant stands there for a second with a a look of shock on his face, and then the giant's head just rolls off and hits the floor. Clunk, clunk, clunk. And this giant's like, "Oh no!" Dentry, what are you doing?
I will be inspired by the amazing attack of my friend, and
That hits.
Damn.
max damage attack this
Ooh.
guy.
Dentry swings upwards and guts this giant from crotch to forehead, and the giant falls down dead.
Well, that is a wonderful turn of events.
So, exploring, kind of looking around, you see that all of the Neanderthals have been killed, and along with them, you see that both the mother owlbear and the cub have been killed and somewhat butchered and partially eaten.
Oh, hell no.
Well, right off the top.
It killed all of them?
Yep.
Then she will let out a roar of pain and agony and anger.
Okay.
We'll need to make sure there's no egg or anything like that in the owlbear cave. These guys aren't necessarily known for their thorough,
There are 7 rolls. Who wants to make first percentage check?
Oh, Dentry, he's the one that did all that fucking shit. He rolled too good to fucking not have to start it off.
71 is a nothing. Next roll.
I had 2 great rolls for the scout for the tracking, and then
About 46.
Nothing. Third roll.
It's your turn again.
this one's the great roll. Oh, not.
That's nothing. That's nothing.
This is the one. This roll right here, because I am making sure we at least get something.
That's nothing.
We need
roll.
more.
That's nothing.
And-
And last roll.
Ugh. Ah!
It is what it is.
That is nothing. But you do find that sitting in a sack next to the campfire, there is a sack with 5,000 gold pieces in it.
All right.
1,000
That's-
gold is 5,000 gold.
Yeah. And is the owlbears did the owlbear have an egg or anything that got left behind,
That's a very good question.
or a cub in the corner? Any of
Mm.
that?
Nope.
Maybe. Oh well, then no.
see,
Then
uh,
might really be asking Jackson to go look.
no, there's no egg.
All right. Well, then never mind. I wasn't going to touch it. I was going to make Jackson fondle the egg.
The 2 hill giants, there is evidence that they had been kind of looting through the cave as well. And you guys find an additional 1,000 gold pieces that they had
All right.
Yay.
looted and taken.
Well,
Do you want to move on, or do you want to make camp here for the night? I mean, this is perfect shelter.
I'm cool with making camp here for the night. I mean, it sounds like a wonderful way to do our thing. You know, have Vidan come in here with us. You know,
Yeah.
We'll build a fire and take all the dead and stick them, you know, here in and well, maybe in this area 5, and they'll set a couple bear traps at the front door.
Okay. So you make camp for the night. You are able to sleep restfully, and
Man can do funeral rites too.
yeah, Vidan does
You know,
does some funeral rites. He does mention. He says, "Oh, I don't know what their belief system is, but I can, of course, send them on their way with the blessing of the Council of the 12 Elder Gods." And so he goes through and does a typical funeral rite. He says, if I remember correctly, I believe that the Neanderthals burn their dead, but as far as the hill giants go, they have their own pantheon, and as far as I'm concerned, we could just leave them to rot.
sounds fine by me. Fuck the hill giants. We're not really happy with them.
So
Yeah, they can. Yeah.
he does
You know,
he does tell you, and as you guys are sitting around the campfire, he does know a little bit about the giant pantheon. I can tell you that. I will relate that to you. So he knows there are um, many, well, not many. There are several uh, gods in the giant pantheon, and he says from what little trade and experience that I've had with the Stygians, the all of the people of Stygina also worship the giant gods as well as the old gods. Unfortunately, the new faith is not very welcome in those cold lands. Uh, many missionaries who have gone into Stygina have never been seen again, and we're just not very well liked. But what I do know is that the hill giants worship a pair of gods named Svanhild and Tumi. They are known as the wedded siblings, or the thieves in the night, and the forbidden lovers. They are two grotesque twin hill giants that are said to have laid with one another to create the entire hill giant race. Disgusting creatures.
well, I'm glad we could end part of their lineage. But maybe we ought to try to fucking follow their trail that they came here and eradicate their village.
You could attempt that.
That's what I'm thinking about. I don't
I
know.
mean, Dentry is just mad enough. Like anyone who would just wipe out a whole clan of people doesn't deserve mercy.
It
They've
looks like
martyred our friends, and we will martyr them.
hell yeah. Then it looks like that's what we're doing, Chris.
Okay.
We're gonna try to track the hill giants.
So Jackson, you can make a tracking check.
I mean, I've learned how to roll low, and it's when I'm tracking. Oh no! Wow, that might not be bad though. Wait, what's my tracking at now?
Well,
That might just be good enough.
So what level are you?
Yeah, it's just good enough.
Yeah, you're
I am level 7.
okay, and plus you get some bonuses to that. I'm minus 20 because of the snow, and hill giants aren't really stealthy. But you track these steps, or these giant footprints, the next morning, to the western edge of the mountain trail, and you can see that there is a trail that leads down this rough mountainside here. So
Well, it is a trail.
it is going about 24 miles to the edge of the mountains and then descends the mountains on a fairly narrow, even for you guys, gravel path that leads down the side of the mountain.
Looks like we're gonna track them down.
Okay.
Yep. They gotta pay.
Yeah, I mean, right now while it's just a trail, we'll follow it, and then I will study for some skeletal mounts. We can fly down the narrow trail to avoid it. It'll eat up some of my spell power, but I believe it's worth it to avoid the risk.
So it takes you 2 days to get down this mountainside.
Can I make 2 rolls for birds in the meantime, or are there still no birds?
Yes, you can. So roll a d. Yeah, you do find a bird.
Ah,
Now,
everybody
make the
heard
horrible.
out the bird.
Now I have to make that.
well, I need to find out
charisma
what
check
kind of
minus-
bird it is.
I still have to make the charisma check.
But in this environment, man, all the birds are kind of cool. I mean, I'm thinking ravens and owls, you know. I don't know what kind of tables he's got, though.
Hoping it's something cool.
Something cool.
Yeah, I'm trying to see how big.
Yeah, make sure you get your rolls in, Brian, because that's how you get
Gotta
your
remember
shit.
to ask for them. If I don't ask for them, I
Yeah,
don't get them. I just gotta remember to ask.
yeah. Please, sir, may I please have the rolls for my bird? Like, oh man, I hope you get a peacock, man. That would be cool as
A
fuck.
peacock in the mountains. Yes, that.
Oh God, that would be so weird.
I know.
But then people would be like, "Wow, such a good omen."
Maybe.
Roll a d6.
A D6.
Yes.
Okay.
D6. Oh.
Okay, so that tells me you find that there is a hawk, and it
His name Tony.
has been kind of tracking you guys, flying overhead. You so you can make let's see, you get a +1 to your roll.
And I have a -1 for my charisma, so it balances out.
Yes, so roll 2d6.
2d6.
Yes.
Ah.
4.
It is unfriendly.
Fuck.
Let's see here.
I'm not meant to have a bird.
You just have to keep trying, man. That's not the one. Tony Hawk was not meant to be.
Yeah, it is unfriendly and is kind of tracking you guys, but it is keeping its distance because of Mira.
Oh, maybe you should try to change its opinion by putting out some food scraps for it.
All right. Yeah. The next time when we stop for some food, we stop for over the course of 2 days. I got to hunt, so maybe I'll leave a scrap of food.
Okay. Okay.
Just means you got to work for it, dude. That's all. Something to
I gotta
do.
trap it, and I gotta keep feeding it for the next like 5 days. And
Actually, I'm
But
gonna
yeah.
have you guys come down. You're like right there.
The bad part is when you have to check it for worms. God.
I need to open another book,
yeah.
which is funny because I just had that book
We have definitely made him change maps.
No, you guys are getting to where you need to be. So coming down the mountain, you can see in the distance, to the southwest, that there is a small town. You can see that there are a number of you can see that there are a number of farms that dot this area around this region, and there is a town that's kind of nestled up against the mountainside, and you can see that it's quite obvious in the distance because there are plumes of smoke coming up from chimneys and whatnot. Um, it looks like a human town though.
Well, we're chasing the hill giants, not the humans.
Well, that's what you see. Um,
Yeah.
Jackson, make a tracking check.
Tracking these fools. Oh damn! I
No.
lost the.
Yeah, you've lost
But
the trail.
then I guess we should ask the town where the local hill giant village is.
Okay. So you head into the town.
Well, do we see that big Sador up to the? I mean, what is that?
You don't see that
Okay.
because Jackson missed his check.
Oh, that's the hill giant town. I got it. Yeah, but we don't know that, so we have to go get told, or it's knowledge of fruit from the poisonous tree thing. Yeah.
And I'm dropping a map.
I guess we caught you off guard by going down a rabbit hole of chasing hill giants.
Not necessarily. I just didn't have maps prepared.
Oh, I hear you. Because who would have known we'd have done that?
Well, it's pretty normal for this game because it is so
Yeah.
open world. So coming down the mountain, and I need to throw some. Oh, I can find it. What the fuck? There we go. Do a copy and paste.
How does our boy like the adventuring road life?
So, um, he's not so sure that he's ready and willing to be heading to hunt down some hill giants, but Um, he thinks that the Neanderthals. He's known about the Neanderthals, and he kind of feels like um, if there is a way to put an end to this uh, problem and to avenge those people, then he would be perfectly happy to help along with that. He would not be invisible anymore because it's been 2 days. But you guys make your way down into this. It's not really a town; it's a village. But you come down into the village of Arlaas, and where you come down, this first building kind of up in the hills is kind of isolated from the rest of the village. You see that it's a little secluded 2-story house, and outside there is a herb garden that kind of grows. There's a couple of herb bushes around the building, but there's like window boxes that would normally in an alpine village be filled with flowers or what have you. These are filled with herbs, and the smoke coming from the chimney has the heavy scent of sage that's being burned. Where do you want to go?
Don't we want to just announce ourselves loudly?
Well, I mean,
Yeah, I say we just
go
walk
run
in
around
the door.
banging a pot. Like,
I mean, we walk our way in, and there's got to be some kind of village square or village center, right?
yeah, you can see that there is a small market down here. That's usually about where um, the center of commerce for a village goes, and you can see that there are a number of people milling about. It's probably early evening, late afternoon. So there are people moving around the village, and you make your way into um, this village. Actually, this is way too many people. Let me fix that. Put you guys up here in case there's a need for. Um, yeah, I can kind of up off the map so that I can add you to a initiative stack should I need to, and then instead, which makes far more sense for the map. So you come into the kind of the center of the village, and a lot of people are well. Who wants to make a 2d6 plus your charisma modifier?
Oh, oof, who is our person?
Or rather, you
Well,
can roll. You can roll a. You can all make. All the characters can actually make a minus, of course, Mira. Roll a d20 charisma attribute check. So roll under your charisma. Wow, 19. Somebody didn't get it.
That was Dantry.
What about the 9? I don't think Jackson got it either,
Nope.
though. No.
Jackson did not.
Oof.
Borman got it on the dot,
Okay.
but the other two did not get it at all.
So the 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 and then oof, yeah, and the cleric didn't get it either. Vidan is. You notice that there's a lot of people in town looking at the cleric, and they're like, um, of course, he's prominently showing his holy symbol, which looks like it is shaped like a bow with an arrow, and um, they're just kind of like, oh yeah, you're one of those, and uh, they're not being openly rude, but they're very standoffish with the cleric. And the rest of you, you've been on climbing down the mountain for a while, and you're probably, I mean, we know that at least Dentry is covered in blood and guts. He probably cleaned up as best as he could, but they recognize that Dentry's a knight, and or the assumption is that he's a knight because everybody wearing full plate's a knight, right? And that you've seen some kind of combat. Borman, you kind of come in and you can see that there is a large town hall building here. Not a very it's not as well built as some of the other houses that you see in town. It's not of an alpine construction. It's very simple, kind of a mud brick and thatch with a thatched roof. And you can see that there are market stalls, brightly colored market stalls. There is this here is they sell. They've got a number of bushels of different hardy vegetables. Like there's some smaller heads of cabbage and potatoes, mostly stuff that's going to have a very short growing cycle. The temperature here is quite chilly. It is cold. There is, of course, snow that comes down off the mountain, and you can see that there is some telltale signs of snow on the ground around here, but not as cold as you're expecting it to get the further north that you head. But the people in this tent here, there's also a some kind of tavern that's just kind of set up, and you see that they have a number of kegs. And there are fresh sausages hanging from the rafters, and the people kind of see Borman and somebody the bartender in a heavy accent. It is called Sprugkurt. Is their native language, but he speaks to you in common with a heavy accent. He says, "Oh, you travelers seem like you could use a drink. What can I get you?"
Well, we've come to drink some of your most finest drinks. For me and my friends, we need to eat, and we need someone to tell us where the hill giants live so we can go kill them.
Oh, you're here about the hill giants. Oh, well, then the food and drink is on the house, and he serves you guys up a plate of large sausages and sauerkraut, and he pours you all a. It's not wine. It is a mead. It is a honeyed wine, very very sweet and it's got a sweet back end from the honey, but it's also spiced wine. And he says, "Here, drink your fill. I'll be right back." And he takes off running for.
Well, Gordman will take a big sausage to the mouth and be like, "Well, this is right how it's supposed to be treated."
He takes off running into the town hall and just runs up, knocks on the door, doesn't wait for anybody to answer, opens the door and sticks his head inside and says, you need to come right away.
I guess we'll, Gordman will grab a big old fucking mug of and with his other hand just grab a big chunk of cheese and just kind of two-fist it as he heads, and Borman will bring his drink and maybe something more smaller, and Malachi we'll have food. He's bringing, a small chunk of turkey leg
Parked out in
with him.
front of the village hall, you see that there is quite fancy carriage. Not a wagon, not a cart. This is a freaking carriage. Gilded. It's got ornate engravings on it, and it is pulled by two absolutely beautiful black horses. And coming out of the village hall, you see a Stygian giant kind of he ducks and steps out. Not a giant, half giant, gargantua. He's about 7.5 feet tall, and standing next to him, there is a very well dressed man. He sticks out. Just the carriage sticks out, and this man coming out following. He's a human. Comes following the gargantua. Is the way he's dressed does not match any of the other villagers. Like he's wearing a fine suit and a bow tie with the long tails on it, and kind of a ruffled shirt, and he's wearing a top hat. And he comes out and he says, "Really, well, don't you think you should speak to him, Sheriff?" And the gargantua says, "Yes, I'll go talk to them." And the gargantua heads over to the mead hall, and this well dressed man comes up behind him and is kind of standing there holding his jacket, and he reaches in and pulls out a pipe, and he kind of loads it with some tobacco and lights it, kind of in an expectant, like, I'm better than everybody else and I call the shots kind of way. And this Stygian half giant comes up and says, "Hello, friends. My name is Oslo. What are you? You said something about hunting giants."
We're looking for the location of the hill giant village so we can go unalive them.
And he kind of pulls up a stool and sits down, and you note that when he sits down, the legs of the stool bend a little bit, like they're straining to keep him upright. And the bartender behind the counter, he comes back behind the counter, and he serves a big cup of mead, and he puts it in front of Sheriff Oslo, and Oslo says, "It is fortuitous that you have come, friends. You see, we have our village, Arlaas. We are a small village. We don't have much. We're not wealthy people, but we too have a problem with the hill giants of Sudor." He says their Queen Bonar, has been sending raids against our people, taking our livestock and our grains and foodstuffs. Finally, we're simple farmers. I mean, we've done what we can. We've slain a couple of the bastards, but there's just too many of them for us to deal with. It seems like for every one that we kill, two more seem to pop up. I suspect that Queen Bonar spends much of her time with her underlings, if you know what I mean. And the well-dressed man pulls the pipe out of his mouth, and he says, "Probably some of her own kin." And he goes back to smoking, and Oslo goes, yes, we've all heard the rumors about those inbred hill giants. He says, if we... You see, in order to kind of protect the town here in the past, I was forced to make a deal with Queen Bonar. At much risk to myself, I traveled to Sudor, and I had a parley with the Queen, and we came to the agreement that every month that the town of Arlaas would leave out some of our food and grain and livestock for the hill giants to take. They are too lazy to forage on their own. And this has more or less saved the town from any raids, but it seems that whenever they come, they try to take more than what they are being offered in this deal. And this is not something that we can deal with. We're barely able to meet the deal as it is. They're taking about a third of our food every month. And the rich guy kind of steps forward and he says, "This is a completely untenable situation." And he goes and he shakes Borman's hand, and he says, "My name is Arthur Grunvoit. Uh, Perhaps you've heard of me. I train horses in this region." And
Nope. Never heard of you, man.
he says, "Oh, well, probably not surprising if you're not from the area, but this is an untenable situation, and so far, good sheriff here has not done nearly enough to take care of these damnable hill giants. If you would be willing to do something about that, I'm sure that I could put up a reward."
Well, that sounds wonderful. Um, we would happily be willing to work something out. Precisely. How about we go purge the hill? You tell us where the hill giants are. We'll go purge them from the area, and in return, you'll give us this reward, that cash reward you mentioned, and the village itself will be willing to send representatives in order to align with Queen Alora as she ascends to be the next queen of the empire, Glaustein Empire.
Oh, the Sheriff Oslo says, I can definitely show you the way to Sudor. Once you get there, you can't miss it. They tend to live in these mud huts. They're filthy creatures." And Arthur Grunvoit says, well, part of the reward will be monetary, but I would also offer a war horse for your good knight here." And he kind of looks at Dentry, and he's got this look of he's trying to have manners and smile, but you can tell that he's kind of disgusted at the fact that you have a half orc among you. He says, "I would offer one of my excellent war horses for your knight."
Malachi will tell him inside his head using the hat.
Okay.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
Yeah, and we'll tell him in his hat. It should be a war horse fitting of the knight that he is. Don't Queen Alora will not take kindly to people mocking her knights.
So Sheriff Oslo says, well, of course we would back your queen, although I don't know how much our influence. We're not even a part of the Glaustian Empire. You have crossed into Stagina."
Yes, but you can have some of your young warriors, even if it's just a handful, to join us as we go to remove the evil that rules the Glaustian Empire, and in return that will establish a trade between the two, and your economy will thrive.
He says, "Well, this is." He kind of turns and looks at Arthur, and he says, "This is a possibility. Yes, I'm sure." And Arthur Grunvoig says, "Well, we do have many that in spring is coming. They're going to be making the journey to Olasveller to join in the summer raids. Of course," he says. "So yeah, this may be a good alternative rather than losing so many of our young people in those senseless raids." And Oslo kind of bristles at this. He says, "The raids are not useless. They are not senseless. They are the way of our people." And he says, but
Well,
I think we could probably send some warriors.
that would be wonderful, and you will have a friend of Queen Alora who so happens to not be with us at the present moment, but we are her emissaries. That's her knight. Kind of Dentry. Just want to let you know that old Dentry there single-handedly took two of those two dudes on face to face, and that's their blood and entrails that you see in his hair.
Oh, well, and he seems like quite the good warrior. And
That's right.
he says, well, I would give my finest war horse for Queen Alora's knight.
And he didn't. Old Rich Boy didn't even flinch about Malachi talking in his head.
No.
Okay.
He's
probably
assuming that it was his own conscience telling him, but he's not.
He's going to analyze that later.
Right.
Is what?
Yeah.
Okay. That's fair enough. I mean, if somebody started talking to me in my head, I would shit a brick. But, that's me.
He's not going to overthink it right now. He's like,
yeah.
Yeah.
He's really
allowed today.
Yeah.
So he tells you, he says we do have a small inn. I mean, it's not much, and Arthur says, "Oh no, they don't need to stay at the inn. I will put them up at Grunvoit Manor, free of charge. Only the best for our champions." And
it sounds like a wonderful idea, Borman will say.
And he goes over and he says, "Oh, just feel free to follow me, and we will head up to my manor house." And so he gets into this fancy carriage, and he crosses this bridge here up into these hills. And after you finish your food, of course, you travel up the southwestern hills to this large manor house. And you can see that there's a secondary and outbuilding that mostly it has rooms on the ground floor for Arthur's servants. This is the Grunvoit family, and then on the second floor are guest rooms that he gives all of you. And there's enough that each of you get your own room. You don't have to double up. And so he says, I will tell my wife, and you can come in and join us for dinner. And he goes off into the main manor house. This is the outbuilding here. And so you guys are left to your own devices, and the servants move between the houses. He does tell one of the maids to make sure that the rooms are all tidy and made up. She doesn't have to do much because that's part of her job every day. She always is making sure that they're tidy and made up. And so you guys kind of settle in, and the maids, of course, draw you all baths because you don't even have to ask, and he doesn't have to tell them because they just take a look at you and they're like, yeah, you need to be cleaned up. And so they all draw you nice warm baths, and probably by about 8 bells in the evening, you are kind of ready and put back together, and you sit down to have dinner with Arthur and his wife, and they have a small, not young, probably about 13 or 14-year-old son and a 12-year-old daughter, and they have this long table that you sit at, and quite the spread of food. So if the town is giving up, and it immediately occurs to you, if the town is giving up, so much of their food and grain every month, it doesn't seem like Arthur is really doing that poorly, or maybe not giving as much as everybody else in the town. But Arthur tells you that originally I was a miner and I had struck it rich. And I decided to get out before I succumbed to what many of the miners refer to as electrum fever. And instead, I invested my money and built this ranch here in Arlaas, and started to indulge my hobby of breeding horses. And I've done quite well since. And so you guys have your food. Do you have any questions for Arthur?
What does he know of the giant village, like other than like where it is? Does he know anything about it?
Um, he does. What can he tell you? He can tell you. Let's see here. Well, he does tell you. He says in reality, he says Suitor is not exceptionally large. He says that he says you have to understand that the entire north and the lands of Stagina were in the distant past were ruled over by giants. He says this is really part of, or at least what we believe is part of the reason that the Gargantua, the half giant, are such a large proportion of our population. But I digress. Sudor is what the giants would refer to as a stronghold, although compared to Vegwar or some of the other giant strongholds, it doesn't really compare. Um, Vegwar, of course, being to the northwest, is the stronghold of the frost giant Ural Yegrim, who runs the show for the frost giants in the region. Sudor is Queen Bonar's stronghold for the hill giants. It's really nothing more than a large set of large mud huts. Their detritus and whatever trees they knock down around the area. Queen
How
Bonar.
many of them are there?
That's a good question. I would say
Sure knows a lot about this giant area.
there's probably about 70 hill giants that live there, and then there's of course the queen herself, Bonar. She seems to be this exceptionally overweight hill giant that covered in a very sparse covering of coarse, thick, dark body hair. Um, uh, she is just hideous to look upon. There's usually
All
about
right.
70 giants that stay in Sudor at any given time, although the total population is usually around 200. But she sends out her hill giants to raid the farms and collect food. They, rather than hunt or forage for their own food, they just tend to take and take and take. And I have had it with these hill giants. I've absolutely had it. If you can put a stop to them, it is money well spent.
All right. And then I'd like to know if I sense any jewel or gem stashes within 60 feet of me at any time that we've toured this manor. And you know,
Roll a d6. Yes, you do. You sense that there are some on the second floor, and not to mention the fact that his wife, Mrs. Grunvoit, is wearing a let's see, she is wearing a necklace. She's wearing a platinum and ruby necklace that's worth about 1,100 gold pieces.
Wow.
That's very nice. That's very nice stuff. Do they have any nice looking rugs laying around?
Yes, there are a number of nice rugs. The nicest one, of course, being in the smoking room.
Okay, so the smoking room, is this on the first floor?
It is.
Okay, so we've been in there.
So after you finish dinner, Arthur retires, has you all join him in the smoking room, offers everybody pipe weed, and again the rug in here it looks like it's been imported from Erebachia, and it looks like it's probably worth around 1,200 gold pieces.
Okay.
Guys like rich.
Yes.
Yeah.
Give me one moment. You guys can discuss what you're going to do. I'll be right back.
Oh,
So you're gonna rob him, but besides that,
I've got to rob him when we sleep, and then we'll have to get up in the morning, and I'll be like, "Well, let's go to that hill giant place, and we should go," and and that will be that. Hopefully, I will try to come up with a reason not to come back this way.
so we're not gonna try and get paid for the task.
Oh no, I'm just, I've got armor that makes me have to fucking steal shit. And I mean that's part of the description of the stats of the armor, Uh and so I mean uh, you know, uh we didn't necessarily are the ones that stole his shit. You know, I don't know. We can come back and try to collect that. What kind of thief would return to do that as Borman decides he's not going into town, but camps outside the town when everybody else returns? You know what I mean?
Sure.
I mean, there's.
I mean, like, I would like Jackson.
Maybe
might
I'll
be like,
steal
"Dude."
it when we come back. How about that?
Jackson's like, dude, just wait till we come back. Wait till we come
Yeah.
back. Come on. Like,
Yeah.
you gotta do it, but just hold off.
I think that'll be good. We'll come back and maybe he'll give us a tour of his vault. And that would make all this so much easier if I could just get a look inside his vault. So that's the plan.
Exactly.
All right. So, you also note that there are a number of trunks and small trunks and chests and some bags that have been packed that are near the front door, and they're kind of just stacked up like they're somebody's getting ready to leave.
Are there gems and shit in those trunks and bags?
There is some, yes.
Okay. So we're all going to go to bed.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
And
Jackson is trying his damnedest to stop Borman from stealing until we come back.
Okay.
Right.
Because, like, if we steal now, it's pretty obvious it's us.
Yeah.
So you're trying to talk Borman out of grand larceny.
Yeah.
Just right now.
So you all retire for the evening, and
Yeah, but I'm planning on yanking this dude for everything he's worth when we come back. And that's the plan.
okay.
On Borman, he's telling the armor that he's like, yeah, we're gonna come back and we're gonna get the war horse for Dentry, and then I'm gonna rob this motherfucker blind. I'm gonna get his carpets, and I'm taking it all.
Okay. Hold on here. Give me just a second.
Come back. We'll enjoy the fucking heroes feast and then rip them off. Right? That's like when the farmer lets you fuck his daughter and then he finds out that, you shouldn't be from around here. He don't like that shit.
You ain't from around here. We don't like your kind. Let's see.
So, uh, obviously, if this is a 200 hill giant bit, we can't murder hobo this. We have to lure them out in small packs and just keep eliminating them until they're gone.
Well, he told you that there's usually about 70 that are in camp. The total population is 200, but she sends the hill giants out frequently to gather food, most of which she's eating.
Yeah, so we're gonna have to lay siege to the hill giant town and just wear them the fuck out. Right?
Okay.
Right?
I mean, 70 is a lot more than we can handle.
Yeah, so we'll have to stick and move and wear that 70 down to something a little bit more respectable, like 3. I mean,
Oh,
let's
wait,
see
no.
how
I mean, she sends them out. We could just
kill them as they get sent out.
uh-huh. That's what I was like. I mean, that's a
Hmm.
long play, though. That's taking out this whole village is gonna. We're either gonna have some because we can't just come fight us, and unless we trick them into something, set a
Well,
really massive trap.
well, yeah, but I mean, before we can set off a trap, we need to do some reconnaissance and we need to get a good scape on really how much of a fucking punishment can these fuckers take before they fall. So, I mean, how long is the travel time to get there?
I will show you in but a moment.
Or do we just sneak in and kill the queen?
Well, we can pull the fucking History of the World Part 2 Jumping the Queen scene.
Yes.
You know what I'm talking
Oh.
about? He's like, Pawn, jump the Queen. Bishop, jump the Queen. Come on, everybody. Let's go jump the Queen. And they fuck the big live action chess game Queen
Right.
Mm-hmm.
there for the world to see. It was artistic, not sexual abuse.
Right. Just
I mean, these motherfuckers came and killed our friends, and if we fuck this village off, even if it takes a little bit, the local political ramifications of that is a lot, and that would go really well into our case of of being heroes to take over the Gloucester Empire. People would tell. I mean, this is good PR.
can't hurt. Okay. Almost done. One more second. I really wish. so so Roll20 did fully integrate with um shit, what's the name of that? Map making website. Anyways, the problem is, and it would work great. The problem with it, of course, is that I'm using Roll20 through Discord, and so what happened was is that if I click to make a new map for this new map making software, it doesn't work because it wants to kick me out of Discord.
Ugh.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's disappointing. Okay, this will do. So I will show you where you guys are at versus how long it will take you to get there. Whoop. So you are here in Arlaas. So Sudor is about 18 miles away to the northeast, right at the base of the mountains here.
Okay,
So
so why don't we?
probably about a day and a half to get there. There's not really any roads here, so each hex is 12 miles.
Right. So the first day we travel
Okay.
and we see what we see, right?
Okay. Uh, so you don't have any encounters. You do see that. So there is the typical uh, stuff that you would see uh, in Stagina, but you don't have any encounters with them. I mean, unless you want to. But you can see that there are herds of mastodon and mammoths. There are herds of woolly rhinoceros that range the fields. You do see that there are some of these mastodons, mammoths, and rhinoceros are actually being hunted not only by people and Staginians, but by saber-toothed tigers, but that you don't have an encounter. Second day, Jackson, you can make a tracking check.
Tracking.
So you pick up large prints again, clearly of hill giants that are moving all over the area, just everywhere. And after about a half a day on the second day, you do come up on the outskirts of this, what they're referring to as a stronghold. And, there are a ton of these mud huts in the outbuildings, but in the middle is really the focal point. All of your characters can make a intelligence ability check. You want to roll under int.
Yep.
Eef.
No, nobody made it. I don't think. Goodman is intelligence 13. Yep, Goodman made it.
So Goodman
I was
made
gonna say,
it.
what about our cleric?
Yeah, I was gonna just roll for.
Nope.
I don't know what his stats are.
Wait. Wait, the cleric that might have done it.
Maybe. Why am I not? I know he's in here. I just put him in here.
Oh no, his
All right.
intelligence is 9.
Yeah, no, he didn't make it either. But Goodman would tell you and would know that pretty much hill giants are pretty dumb. They're also pretty cowardly. And if you were to put down this Queen Bonar and her cadre of giants that she keeps around her, it is very likely that the entire stronghold would basically just fall apart. They would stop being a centralized threat because they wouldn't have any leadership, and they would probably end up going back to ranging. You know, the number that you're seeing here, Goodman would be honest. He's like, we're not going to put them. We're not going to kill them all. there's not enough time in the day. And hill giants are going to be hill giants. They are going to continue to attack settlements, whether they are scattered or across the land, or if they're centralized in a giant stronghold. The difference being that if you remove the queen and remove this centralized leadership, they're probably not going to be attacking Arlaas as much anymore, and they will spread out, and the problem will be lessened.
All right. Well, do you want to do the visible sneaky sneak? Open up the portal, everybody step in, and we're at the queen.
I like it. That's a great plan. We do it often. Just be mindful that they can smell you.
That's true.
I will roll around in local foliage.
Okay. Hold on a second here.
I'll leave you to do your backstabbiness on the queen. Dentry will probably want to just challenge whichever guard looks the biggest.
Right. Well, hopefully we can do it in
Jackson.
such a way that we can get them with some AOE softening. If we can get them in a soul lightning or something before the real battle kicks off, then
Okay.
that would be wonderful. But
I'm down. I'm down for that.
yeah. And so what we'll do is Malachi will have that invisibility 10-foot radius thing and invis the whole fucking lot of us as we go into the portal into the ambush. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So everybody will come in invisible, and Borman will be invisible on his own as he gets there. And so, we're all just gonna be ready for when the portal opens. We as a group will come through the portal and lay hate to the guys. So that's kind of what the plan is.
Okay. Well, so this is your typical. This is Sudor. Throw some giants down here, and you guys are all invisible, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Well, Borman is going to go in. The party is going to be invisible and hanging out at a designated location. And Borman's going to go in invisible, and he's going to find this fucking queen and position himself in a spot where he'll use the mirror to open up the portal to let the whole party come in.
Okay.
And then we're going to jump the queen.
Gotcha.
That is the plan.
Put some guys down here. All right. Okay. So coming into this, the kind of stealthing your way in with using invisibility, you come into Sudor, and it is pretty much as was described to you. Mud huts, just filth all over the place. They don't have any kind of idea where offal and any detritus that they generate or where they go to the bathroom. There's no centralized place for this. It's all over this camp, and you just see groups of these mud type huts that are reinforced with mastodon bones, and this is the central part. You don't see uh, a queen per se. I don't know if I've got. And so I don't have.
And
Let me. Why don't you tell me what you're going to do first?
if I walk in and I don't see a queen or whatever, I'm gonna look for what I think the person in charge would be, you know, and so I'm
you
guessing.
don't. You're not going to see anybody that looks like somebody's in charge. I mean, they're hill giants, but so you're just going to walk into the middle of the camp and openly, like just.
I mean, I'm invisible.
I thought you said you weren't invisible. I thought you said
No,
Borman was going to
Borm
be not invisible
Borm
while everybody else is.
Borm Borman is invisible, and everybody else is staying at a certain location, and they're in the 10-foot invisibility circle that Malachi cast.
Okay.
And when Borman opens the portal with the mirror, everybody's going to come in and be invisible, and we're going to ambush. So Borman is sneaking about the camp, invisible, trying to find where the queen is, hopefully in a building or something.
So
And so I'm looking for a building that I think would hold the more important people.
okay.
And so
Okay. Hold on here.
I mean, just openly attacking the village, that we'd already decided against that.
Okay. Yeah, that's good. So pretty much in the middle of this village, here, you see that that's the biggest mud hut in this entire village. But you see that there are a number of hill giants that are just kind of milling around doing what hill giants do, basically eat, drink, and shit wherever they want. Um,
Listen, and we don't judge.
And you can see that out in the entrance to this large mud hut, there are two hill giants that are kind of standing. I guess it could be considered like standing guard, but they're not doing a very good job, and they're busy uh, rolling dice that appear to be the skulls of humans that they've marked with a number of dots, uh, like from ash, and they're rolling these skulls like they're dice while they're eating a flank of mammoth. And you see that there's a number of these giants, other giants like this one, just kind of wandering around doing what have you. They There are a number of giants that are sniffing the air as you're moving around.
Fair enough. The two guards that are gambling with dice, does one of them appear to be winning by his body language?
Um, yes, but not through any discernible means that you can tell. You can't. They'll roll these skulls, and one will be like, yeah, and you're looking at them, you're like, what does that mean? I don't. How is it that you won anything? I don't. I don't understand. And the other one will be like, oh, and then he'll hand over like some meat, or he'll hand over like they're taking like full kegs of mead and drinking them like beer steins. So he'll give over a mead, and the other giant will use a knuckle to knock a hole in the top so that he can drink from it. They're just using them like they're beer cups. But
Well,
you
then
can't.
I
You
will.
can. You're not able to discern any real way that they're actually. There's no rules to this game. It makes no sense to you.
Fair enough. I'm gonna sneak past them and go inside the big hut and look and see what I see in there.
Okay. Go ahead and move your exploration movement phase or movement rate.
Yeah, I can get deep in there.
He said.
Okay. So in here, you do find Queen Bonar, and she is an immensely huge hill giant. Not tall. She's like 12 feet tall and maybe 12 to 24 feet wide. She's just this huge, hideously ugly female hill giant. And she's in here. Uh, she's in here laying on these large, matted and disgusting furs that look like they probably came from a mammoth or a mastodon. And there's a whole bunch of them piled up that she's just laying on, and she's covered like in slop from food that she's eating, and then she just tosses it on the floor of this tent. Make a save versus poison. So it's a death save. You want to roll over your. Ooh, that's not good.
No.
So stepping into the tent, and the smell in here is horrid, and you can't keep it, and you puke, and you toss up whatever it was that you ate, your beef jerky and any mastodon that you ate from the night before. Um, she doesn't hear anything over the sound of her own jaw moving. She never stops putting down food. She just reaches over to a pile of mastodon parts and rips off another hunk and starts chewing again. Um, and the two outside at the front door don't hear anything, and you like puke up your guts. Uh, what is the rest of the party doing? You just still waiting
Waiting for the
for the portal?
to open.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. So Borman, you have puked up your guts, and make a dexterity ability check.
I got it.
Okay. So you're trying to get control of your retching from the stench and the visual aspect. You know how like you're throwing up, and then you probably have your eyes closed, and you can feel that, okay, I'm done throwing up, but then you open your eyes and you see the horror that you have wrought, and it makes you throw up again. That's part of your issue. And in the process, you open your eyes and you kind of look around at not only your own puke, but everything else about this disgusting hut, and it makes you want to retch again, and you almost slip in whatever it is that is covering the floor in here. It's probably unmentionable. But I mentioned it. And so you almost slip, but you catch yourself. Borman, what are you doing?
I want to look around the place. You said this place is just kind of roped together.
Yeah, it's a mud hut that uses like mastodon bones and tusks. Oh, there's something. So for Borman, Orman will definitely be interested. So mammoths are much bigger than regular mastodons. Um, there is each of these tusks that are holding up the central portion. These are mammoth tusks. They are each worth in ivory 400 gold pieces each.
Yeah, that's badass. But what I want to find out is there a leather cord or a rope or something that I could cut that would make maybe not a total tent collapse, but something that would make the tent start falling apart.
Make a intelligence ability check.
Yeah, I made that shit.
Yes, you find one. You find basically it is a guy wire that is tied to one of these tusks that leads to the base of another tusk. So essentially, if you cut this guy wire, the part of the central portion of the tent will start to collapse in. That's not really a tent. It's a mud hut, but it is still being supported by these tusks.
Then yeah, I'm gonna cut that and then quickly make my way out.
Okay.
Like I'm gonna come out and probably over here is where I'm gonna try to get to.
Okay. So you spend some time cutting through this rope, and the second that you cut through it, and it's a very tight gut line, you cut through this leather, and you can immediately start to hear a crack in the mud. And make a dexterity ability check.
Oh, that's wrong die. I'm sorry. An 11. That hits it.
Okay. You get out just in time. As soon as you cut that line, the mud hut starts to crack and crumble in. And Queen Bonar immediately looks up at it and is like, "Hey, the hut's collapsing. Get in here." And you run out just as these two run inside to try and protect their queen. And these two hill giants are going in trying to hold up what's left of this partial retaining wall that is coming in to the hut. And you run out to here. This giant also runs over here, but he's stupid and he's standing out front not knowing quite what to do. And this giant is standing there and he literally has his left index finger in his belly button. He's picking around in his belly button, looking slack-jawed like he doesn't know what's going on. What are you doing?
I'm going to open the portal.
Okay.
Actually, I'm even more. I'm going to kind of sneak around here to open up the portal right there.
Okay.
So everybody can come out. And I'm just going to kind of stick my head through the portal and be like, "Come on and fireball that big tent," or whatever it is that you do.
Okay.
And then I'll just kind of hold the thing for everybody to come out. Everybody should be invisible right here in this area. All of us.
Yes.
Invisibility.
Everybody can roll initiative.
Oh. And our boy,
Oh, Dentry's using his sword to go last.
Yeah.
You can just leave it at 0.
Okay.
Oh, and what did Borman yet?
Didn't I enter it?
No.
Oh fuck. Okay, Borman got a 5.
And Dentry's at 0. What about Jackson?
Jackson. I swear I entered Jackson too. Shit, what the hell?
Weird.
Jackson got a 1. I wasted a great roll on Dentry. He got a 6, but I forgot I'm going to use the sword.
Is that the vengeance sword?
Yeah. I should have been going last for pretty much every combat, but then I rolled a 1 the last 2 times anyway.
All right. So Malachi, what are you doing?
Well,
So if you cast fireball, you will lose concentration on the invisibility 10 foot.
okay.
And I'm assuming that all of you are packed around him a lot tighter than you are. This is simply a matter of where the grids are on the map. So.
Oh, well, the invisibility 10-foot radius is
I mean, if you light off a fireball, it's
subjects that move more than 10 feet away from the chosen creature become visible. Yeah.
casting the fireball would end the
Yeah.
invisibility for
Yeah,
everybody.
it sure would. But that's okay. It gets us all out here and gets us positioned.
Yeah, I mean, the fireball
Right.
going off is going to do that anyways, right?
So, yeah. So let's just, we're all kind of set up like this. Borman, is invisible on his own right, so that doesn't matter, and there, and then
I mean,
Dentry
half the
and
party has some level of invisibility, don't we? I mean,
yeah, if you want to use your own, use your own. I was just trying to do something that I had to do the whole thing,
Oh, that's smart.
Yeah, so I mean, you can you don't have to use it if you don't want to. Borman was there on his own invisibility thing. He hasn't broken that yet. So
let's see. Goodman doesn't have invisibility ring, right?
Nope, he will be exposed.
Mira doesn't. Does Jackson? Yes.
Jackson does.
Dentry.
Entry does.
Dan does not. Foreman does. All right. So what? So what's Malachi doing? Is he tossing the fireball?
Yeah, man. I mean, he's gonna do fucking fireball.
240 foot. Whoop. That's wrong. 240 foot range.
I mean, yeah.
I mean, you could throw into the middle of that hut through the door.
That's kind of what I'm doing.
The only question is whether or not you would miss that hill giant that's standing out front.
Oh, I'm going to do it from that point right there. Okay. Because it's there, it gets her, it gets all that. It's a nice,
it wouldn't matter anyways. You're going to get all 4 of them.
Yeah, so you make your saves, and I will go refresh my fucking. It is 6d6.
Hill giants fail, and she
22
fails. So
22 points of fire damage.
Okay.
As Malachi appears with some friends.
Now, the one weird thing about Fireball is that it does not give off any pressure. So there's an explosion of fire, but there's no pressure that would be attributed to an explosion. So the building doesn't explode. But there is a burst of flame in here that, of course, causes problems. Oh, There's your fireball.
All right.
So the fireball, Malachi drops in the invisibility, essentially showing Goodman and Vidan and himself. Throws the fireball. It goes in here, explodes. You can see that there's fire that comes out. This guy is very badly burned, as are everybody inside. Queen Bonar is very pissed off. She.
Is she surprised?
That's a good question. She is not.
No.
What about the Hill Giants?
Yeah.
The Hill Giants are surprised.
Oh, that's a beautiful happening right there, Brian.
She comes running out and can only make it to that point. There's like smoke coming off of her from the fireball. And she's yelling, Get them, you idiots! And she's pointing at Malachi, Vidan, and Goodman. The Hill Giants are surprised. Borman, what are you doing?
Borman's got a Borman. I'm going to step up to this bitch, and I'm going to backstab her punk ass.
He can get her butt cheek. I mean, in fact, I'm going to give you a +2 because she is so fat and immense.
All right. Well, then here we go.
Actually,
Does 30 hit?
Yes, it does.
+2, so 4, 8. 8 points more damage as Borman is no longer invis.
All right. So I'm sorry. How much did you do?
8.
Okay. So you stab her in the ass, and she's like, ah! And she turns around and is seeing you. What does Mira do?
Mira is gonna run up, jump on her back, and claw away at her neck.
Okay. There you go.
Oh, okay. Like, I don't know which way the back is. Oh, that's right. She turned around. 16?
16 hits.
Okay, let's roll the other one too. Might as well. Yeah, that hits.
Yep.
Okay. 9 points of damage.
9. So Mira jumps up on her back and is slashing at her. Goodman, what are you doing?
Borman's going to be like throwing the dwarven thrower. He's going to step forward a little bit, and throw the hammer
dwarven
right
thrower
there
hammer?
in her.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
And it's 20.
That hits.
28. Yeah. All right. So this is +3. 9. 9 points of dwarven thrower damage.
Okay. So he swings that hammer and throws it, and it just goes boom. You hear the ping as it bounces off of her fat chin. What's Vidan doing?
Vidan is going to be the brave man that he is and step back a little bit. Get a little bit over her.
Dan better do nothing but hide.
Yeah.
Sole job is to stay alive to heal us if he needs to.
What's
Yeah.
Jackson up to?
Jackson's like, I mean, that's a lot of head, but let's go for it. That's a whole lot of neck. Let's see if I can get through it in one shot. Oh,
A
no.
19 does hit, though.
Does it? Where the hell am I? Oh,
Man, she can't be that fucking good anymore. I mean, she might be, but I mean,
right.
please don't be tough anymore. I don't know what to say.
5 points of damage.
Okay. So Jackson runs up and swings, and he doesn't get her head. He gives her a good. He jumps up and gives her a good slice in her belly. Dentry.
I assume I'm on my horse because at this point, unless I have a good reason to not be, I'm on my horse.
Yeah, you could do mounted combat.
Okay. I'm gonna ride by to try and get to like here. Like, die, you foul queen, and then slash at her.
Okay.
Die, you fake queen.
That's a hit. Ooh.
Max damage.
Okay. Gentry rides by and slashes at her and kills Queen Bonar.
Dum dum dum.
And she just falls back, and like when she hits the ground, the snow that's on the ground actually lifts up and then drops back down, and pretty much you can feel the shock wave as she hits the ground. The hill giants are like, "Oh my God, our queen!" Well, that was Dentry's turn. We're going to pause here, and we will pick it up next week. Maybe Cameron and her witch and her cleric will be able to get in on some hill giant goodness. But first, allow me to dole out some XP.
How many hit points does that queen bitch have?
64.
Yeah. We fucking walked her bitch ass down. Yeah.
All right, so let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of you. Everybody gets 1,229 XP.
1,290.
29. 1,229.
I totally threw away a number there. Okay. Not enough. Okay.
Well, I mean, they add up, you know.
Yeah, there'll be. We'll start off next week with a good chunk just from killing all of these guys.
Yeah, I'm just waiting for Gentry to get that next level of night.
Oh, what happens then? Does he get some cool shit?
No, just he's it's just it's so much closer right now because it's like everybody else is like, I need 100,000 experience. He's like, oh, it's 10,000 experience as the next level.
Right.
Oh, I understand the sentiment. Believe me. As
I get anything. Next thing I get is level 5.
well, level 5 is a big level for a lot of stuff. I don't necessarily know how yours is.
You get a flying mount.
Well, that is definitely going to have us go griffin hunting, ain't it?
You could, if it's a griffin, you can use your horse as bait.
Oh shit!
Oh, that'll be great. That's how you get rid of Mira, because you need to get rid of her to have the points, right? You got to free up some of those companion points, right, to get a griffin.
Well, if it would be different if it was a mount. The thing is, if something like a griffin, or like a dragon or something like that, you would have to basically get those from early age, like an egg or something, in order to you have to train them to be a mount, and you're not going to be able to do that with an adult.
Okay, well, we still need to find their nests and kill all their moms and dads.
Well,
you know,
their mummies and daddies.
Yeah, I mean, in a wholesome way, of course.
Of course.
With honor and respect.
Wholesome killing of the parents.
Yes. We will call it destiny, so that way the clerics will think it's okay.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, that was fun.
All right.
Cameron will come back to some shit.
Yes, she will also be like, what the hell happened? So we will pick this up next week on Saturday at 12 o'clock.
Thank you. It was pretty fun.
Thank you,
Had a good time,
sir.
Brian. Are
You're
you
welcome.
glad that you fucking stepped out with just cleric?
Yes, yes.
Was there what?
One with just 1/4 level cleric to heal.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was scary, but we did it.
Yeah. Oh, we're gonna fucking own these bitches, man. Especially if we get fucking Mavis and Alora and Peppermint. So it'll be fine.
That's true. Yeah, that'll give
Yeah.
you some extra weight behind your swings.
Random
Yeah.
question about the divvying of experience.
Yes,
Have you been counting Mira in the experience count?
she does count. Yes,
Even though she can't level up?
exactly. She gets a
That's
share.
fucked.
She gets a share no matter what.
So she gets experience even though she can't use it.
Correct. Now I
That
will tell you.
sucks.
I will tell you that I haven't read the book yet, but I did pick up what is it, Mystical Companions for Castles and Crusades. There's a it's an entire book about familiars and mounts and all of that. I do believe that in that rule set they can level up. I'll have to read it, but I believe that's how it works.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, I haven't even decided what the fuck I'm gonna roll for that. I'm gonna let. Of course, you gotta look at the dice rolls that you get.
One one thing that I will say for that when you do decide to make characters, if you are going to, they have two different types of multi-classing. There's multi-class, and then there is class and a half. If you decide to do that, you have to decide to do it at the beginning. You cannot take a second class later.
Gotcha.
Fair enough. Yeah, that's a different system. That the
It's
difference.
really not though. Everything that you're already playing, it's almost exactly the same. There's very little change.
Well, my thing is it's better to multi-class in this system for most classes because you don't get the additional swing or any shit like that.
Right.
In a system that rewards the melee guys with additional swings per round,
Right.
then the multi-class it becomes way less beneficial, and I would argue would not have multi-classed if that was the system I was in.
Right. Right.
So that's all
Yeah.
I'm saying on
Yeah.
that.
I totally agree. Multi-classing
So.
can help if you have like in Castles and Crusades, if it's only going to be focusing on 3 characters. Multi-classing can help you in that you pick up, or doing class and a half can help you pick up some abilities that you may not fill. So you might have somebody who is playing a fighter rogue. So not only is he a fighter, but he can also pick locks and shit like that. You might have somebody who is playing a boy, I can't really imagine a paladin really wanting to multi-class at all. You might have a illusionist bard or an illusionist, maybe an illusionist rogue. That would be a possibility. So it can give you some added benefits that the party might need. Most of the time when I look at multi-class, well, I suppose you could do something like a cleric ranger or a druid ranger would probably work as well. So I mean, it allows few
The
people.
druid one's tricky though, because druid has so much limitations in what they can use.
Right, and clerics too, because clerics are limited to bludgeoning weapons. I mean, you would have basically a ranger that's running around with a mace or a hammer, which I'm not against that either, but
Could sling it.
And a sling, yeah, ranger with a sling.
That 1d4 is something.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, it is a different, but multi-classing does let you fill out some of those roles in a party that has a few members. Class and a half, I think, is kind of a better way of doing it, because then you have your primary class and then a secondary class that you may not get all of the abilities from. It's just like a hobby class. It's a smattering of things. Not all classes are like that, though. Some classes you might get 100% of their abilities. Like if you were a fighter wizard, for example, you would get everything. Although you would have a hard time casting because if you're wearing armor, it impedes the somatic components of the movements that are required for casting. So there's some issues with that, but you would have to do it at the beginning when you make the character and decide that, you know, if you want to make an archetypical elf, they're going to be a fighter wizard. That's just kind of how that rolls. You know, your archetypical, you know, elfiest elf is going to be a fighter wizard. I will say the illusionist class is not what you think it is. The illusionist class is more like 5th edition's warlock. Like they got
Yeah, I don't know.
They have some scary shit. Like some really scary shit. They even have some healing abilities. Like they can cast an illusion that makes you think that you're healing, and you have to make a save. But if you fail your save, you're like, holy shit, he healed me. And you can't just say, well, I know he's an illusionist, I disbelieve it. That doesn't work.
Well, I'll look at that. I'm gonna look at my roles before I decide on what the fuck I want to be. You know.
Yeah.
We're gonna have a character creation thing, or are we just gonna create the character?
We could do a character creation, but it's really easy. It's really easy and quick. So.
All right. Well, cool. Well, I'll see you next week.
All right. See you next week.
Yep. Bye, Brian.
Have a good one, guys.
See you later.
Bye, Chris.
Yes.